Guys, so today I've put together a capsule makeup collection for myself. I recently saw Arna Alayne do this video and it inspired me to do the same. It got me really thinking like what my capsule makeup collection would look like if I were to just distill my collection down to kind of the basics and then a few little fun pops to add some versatility. I believe Arna's video was inspired by Harry Makes It Up, and I watched her video. She came up with a really smart formula for your capsule makeup collection. Essentially, it's got three components. The first one is kind of your anchor products, or what she calls your makeup underwear. These are the things that you wear pretty much every day, just kind of your base products like foundation, concealer, brow products, those kinds of things. The second category is your staples. So these are kind of the products that are in your makeup comfort zone. For me, that would be things like a neutral palette, a neutral pink blush, nude lip options, and then the third component is wild cards. These are products that might add a fun pop of color or a different texture to your makeup look, like glitter, a bold red lip. So we're gonna go through those three categories today. I just thought this sounded like so much fun, and it just got me thinking about how much variety could I pack into this capsule makeup collection. So let's get into that, but first I want to thank today's video sponsor, which is Luisa. I have worked with them a few times on my channel throughout the past year, and today's video is extra exciting because I get to announce that I am officially an Luisa brand ambassador. I'm so excited. So if you're not familiar with Luisa, they are a jewelry company that specializes in beautiful, high quality, yet pretty reasonably priced jewelry. I pretty much wear at least one of their pieces on a daily basis. You've probably seen me wearing a few of their items in some recent videos. They've just got so many great like staple items that really complement any outfit that I'm wearing, and they're just my kind of style. The number one thing I love about Luisa is their commitment to sustainability. They are actually the first direct-to-consumer jewelry brand to become completely carbon neutral, which is so exciting. They release limited run batches of their items each week to minimize waste, and they also use recycled metals. I also find them fairly affordable given the quality. They've got some pieces in like the $40 to $50 price range, and then they range up to some higher end fine jewelry options as well. So they've got, a good range of price points for you. So the reason I'm talking about them today is that they've currently got a 20% off site-wide summer sale going on all throughout July. So if you've been eyeing the brand, you're in the market for some nice new jewelry pieces, now would be a great time to check them out. And speaking of a capsule makeup collection, a lot of their pieces would fit in really well with like a capsule wardrobe if that's something that you're into. So they sent me a few pieces to share with you today. The ones that I have on right now, you've probably seen me wearing in a lot of recent videos because I just can't stop wearing them. But these are the Hana Sunset Hoops. I love this style. I've got another pair of earrings in this same Hana style with a different design on them, but I love these. They're just so fun and summery, and I really like that the design is on both sides, so whichever way someone is facing you, they'll be able to see the design, which I think is just a nice little touch. And then the necklace I've got on is the Elsa Sunset necklace, which matches the earrings really well. I love this just like simple rectangle pendant design. These I love to wear with like a bold red lip like I've got on today and just a plain white t-shirt or tank top, and I just feel like they really liven up the look. And then the other earrings that I have are these Salome earrings. I feel like these are going to be perfect for all year, but they've got this beautiful marble design, and that blue color, that royal blue, is one of my favorite colors, so I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of these. I love the small but thick hoop of these. I think I've realized I just really like that style. And again, the cute little rectangular pendant. So if you'd like to check out that 20% off sale that they're having, I will leave that linked at the very top of the description box for you. But thank you so much to Luisa for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and take a look at my capsule makeup bag. Getting into that first category of like my makeup underwear, my like super simple basic products that I use every day. Things like primer, foundation, any base products like that, brows. For me, I'm not really that into primer, so I don't think I would have a primer in this category, so I just went straight into foundation. I would be satisfied with just one foundation in my capsule makeup collection, one that kind of has a flexible amount of coverage that I could wear it more sheer or builds it up to get kind of like a medium coverage look, because medium coverage is about as high coverage as I like to go. And so I picked the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. So by the name of this, it sounds like a tinted moisturizer, but it's kind of a light coverage foundation that can build up to get a little bit more of a medium coverage. I really like this. I feel like this has kind of replaced the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation for me, the foundation that was my holy grail for years. This one is, of course, more expensive, but it fills a similar role in my collection, and if I had to only have one foundation that I feel like I could kind of trust to do it all for me, it would be this one. And then straight into concealer, I would go for kind of a higher coverage concealer that still has a really nice skin-like finish, and for me that would be the E.L.F. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I really fell in love with this one. It took me a long time to finally try this, but I'm so glad I did. For me, it's really similar to the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, but I think I might even like it a little bit better. It's just everything I want in a concealer. Good coverage, very creamy, sinks into my skin quickly. It doesn't like sit on top of my skin or like make my under eyes look dry or anything. I would be very happy with just this one in my collection. What I like to do is apply it to my under eyes, blend it in with a sponge, and then take whatever's left over on my sponge and just tap it over any areas of my face where I want to just bump up the coverage a little bit. And that way I would be able to get even more coverage out of that base look with this product. Another one of my like anchor products would have to be an eyeshadow primer. I cannot go without eyeshadow primer. I'm not that picky, or there isn't one specific primer that I think is better than all the rest. So I just grabbed my CoverGirl Lid Lockup Primer. This one's nice, I think. I've only used it a few times now, but I would probably stick with the drugstore option. The Urban Decay Primer Potion is nice as well, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really have strong opinions about an eyeshadow primer as long as it does its job and keeps my eyeshadow in place for the day. I would also have to include my NYX Glitter Primer. This is a glitter glue that I use in conjunction with a regular primer. I tap it on my lids after I've applied like my matte crease colors, and then it just serves as a really great base for any kind of shimmer or foiled shadow that I just want to make it pop even more. This is great for that, and it's really become a must-have for me. So another must-have in this first category would be brow products. So you already know I would pick the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. This is what I use to fill in my brows every single day. It's the only like brow filling in product that I have in my collection. It's been the only one I've been using for the past year and a half. Is that right? Yeah, a very long time, and I've still got so much left. It has not even started to dry up. Taupe is the perfect shade for my brows, so that would have to be included. And I also like to have some kind of product that will give my brows a little bit of hold, so sometimes that might be a brow gel like the E.L.F. Wow Brow, but currently I have a somewhat different product. It's the E.L.F. Shape and Stay Brow Pencil. So it's essentially a brow wax crayon. I talked about this recently in my kind of collective haul from the past few months, and I'd mentioned I hadn't used it yet, and I was kind of like, why did I even buy this? Like this was totally just a random impulse purchase at Walgreens, but I ended up finally trying it, and I really like it, surprisingly. I will kind of just apply it to my brows before I fill them in with the pomade, just to kind of push them into place and get them kind of into the shape that I want. And then I find that I have such an easier time applying the pomade after that. It's a really nice texture. It's a very thin wax. It gives my brows a nice amount of hold, but it's not like gloopy. It's not like depositing globs of wax into my brows. It literally just makes doing my brows a lot easier. And I do feel like it gives my brows a little bit of hold throughout the day. I don't need like super strong hold for my brows. I don't really struggle with that too much, but this has been really nice. So I think just those two products for my brows would be enough. And you know, I might alternate between having this and like the E.L.F. Wow Brow in there, but either one works great. I would also have a face powder in my collection. I think I would probably just have one pressed powder, and I went ahead and picked the E.L.F. Sheer Tint Finishing Powder. I really like this one. It doesn't look heavy on my skin. It doesn't look cakey and powdery, but it kind of just sets my makeup in place, gives my skin a little bit of a perfected look, and it works great for both the under eyes and all over the face. So I'd be very happy with just that one, and it's a nice affordable option. I would have one setting spray, and it would have to be the Pixi Glow Mist. I currently have mine in this old NYX setting spray bottle just because the sprayer on my Pixi one got weird, but this is actually the Rose Glow Mist, but the Rose Glow Mist and the original Glow Mist are both pretty much the same thing. It's just that the rose one has some of a rose scent to it. But this is such a wonderful spray because this is the kind of thing that I use if I'm doing my makeup and for some reason part of my face is looking kind of dry, or like I accidentally put on too much powder, or things are looking weirdly separated. I spray this on, just a couple of spritzes, and it's almost like it just fixes it. It just sort of blurs things over. It is quite glowy. It does have like some oil in it, so you know, it's if you got like super oily shiny skin, it's probably not for you, but I love that stuff. I feel like it's just such a staple in my collection. That would be one of those anchor products. All right, so this next category is my makeup staples. So these are the products that are kind of in my makeup comfort zone, things that I would wear, you know, just out running errands. They're products that I feel really good in. They kind of polish my look, but they're not, yeah, I'm not wearing these out to like a special occasion or anything. So first for this category, I'd have to have some like cream and liquid cheek products. For blush, I'm sure many of you could already predict this one. The Clove and Hallow Hydra Tint Blush in Blossom. This is like a blush serum. Two reasons why I chose this. Number one, I'm in love with the formula. It is so just easy and fun to use. I just love it. It gives my cheeks like kind of a juicy look, even though there's no shimmer to it. The second reason is the shade. This is just the perfect like neutral pink that just mimics my skin's natural blush color. And so this is one of those products that if I lost it, I would immediately buy a replacement. That's how important it is to me. It's just such a special product in my opinion. So that would be kind of my staple blush. This is one that I can rely on. It'll go with any look, and yeah, it's just the definition of a staple product. And then I'd also like to have a cream contour and highlight. So I just went ahead and picked my dual-ended stick from Oma Beauty. This is their Double Take Sculpt and Strobe Duo Stick in the shade White Pearl. I love the contour. It's just a perfect creamy contour stick. It melts into your skin. It's so easy to blend out. Perfect like kind of neutral, cool leaning contour shade. And then the highlight on the other end is perfect as well. It just glides right on. It's this gorgeous like sort of rose gold highlight color that again goes with any look. So those would be kind of my staple cheek products. And I also decided to go ahead and choose a face palette for this category, and I went with the BH Cosmetics Belgian Waffle palette. This just has pretty much everything I need in the way of bronzers and powder highlights. This Buttermilk shade is the lightest bronzer, perfect for when I don't even want to have to think about my bronzer because I literally can't mess it up. It's only like a shade deeper than my skin tone, so it just blends in perfectly. Today I mixed Buttermilk and Batter to get a slightly deeper bronze shade. And then I also love the highlighters in this palette. They just give like this beautiful glass skin look. Even though they're powder, they don't look like powder at all. They look like just the most beautiful cream highlight, but you have the ease of the powder application. So that would be kind of my staple cheek products. I would be very happy with just that on a day-to-day basis. So for eyeshadow in this category, this was a very easy decision as well. My staple neutral palette would be the Aether Beauty Rose Quartz Palette. I'm very upset with Aether right now because they discontinued this version of the palette and they relaunched a new Rose Quartz palette that is completely different. It's only 10 shades. 7 of the 10 shades are different from the original ones. And it just, I don't know, maybe the new one is prettier in person, but it just doesn't look nearly as special as this one. There's just something so special about this. You may still be able to find this version on sale at certain retailers, but I'm a little let down. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. But if you were looking for this one and you couldn't find it, that's why. This palette is so special to me. There's just something about these shades and the way that they work with my skin tone and the way that they work together that is just so easy. It's so reliable. I know people throw around the word blendable, blendable, blendable all the time, but these mattes are the most blendable mattes I have ever had the pleasure of using. They are so easy. I could go on and on, but that would be my staple neutral palette for every day. There's some, you know, really cool like grays in there. There's some more rosy pinks. Love that. For eyeliner staples, I would have 3 in this category. A black liquid liner. I don't really care which one. Currently I have the ABH liquid liner. Works great, but I'd probably, once I use this up, I'll probably go and get a drugstore one instead. And then I would have a black and a brown pencil liner. So again, I don't really have like a holy grail for this, but currently I've got the CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus in Espresso for the brown, and the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Kohl eyeliner in black. That's the shade name. So just a nice smooth creamy pencil and a black liquid liner. That would be what I would need for that staple category. And then of course a mascara as well is another staple for me. I wouldn't have just like one mascara all the time. I would probably, like, once I use one up, I would like to try a new one just because, I don't know, I like to try new mascara formulas, but the one I've got open currently is the Anastasia Lash Brag. I don't particularly like this one. I like what it does for my lashes, but it does tend to smudge very easily, so this isn't one that I would repurchase over and over again, but I do appreciate the nice luxe packaging. It's a nice experience to have. So for the lips, you know I couldn't just pick like one lipstick for this category, so I did pick a few just neutral lip options. First, I chose a nice light pink nude because that is a staple that I like to have on hand. This is the E.L.F. Seriously Satin Lipstick in Cream. Typically, I like to top this with a gloss. So the gloss that I chose is the E.L.F. Lip Plumping Gloss in Pink Cosmo. I use this gloss so often. I don't necessarily think of it as like a favorite, but the amount that I use it tells me otherwise. So I would include this, I think, in my capsule makeup collection. And then I did choose a slightly deeper pink nude as well. I'm taking a little bit of a risk by choosing this one because it's very new to my collection, but so far I'm really enjoying it. This is the Bite Power Move Soft Matte Lipstick in Sugar Buns. So they did bring back their bullet lipsticks finally in a matte formula. So Sugar Buns is just this beautiful mauvey pink, a little bit deeper than that E.L.F. one, as you can see. So couple of nice options there. And I do love just a nice like rosy nude like that. And then I did have to pick a lip liner as well. A lot of times when I wear that E.L.F. cream lipstick, I like to have a slightly deeper like rosy brown nude underneath. So I chose one that's no longer sold but that I love. This is the Jordana Draw the Line lip liner in Rockin' Rose. I love this color. I'm going to be very sad when this runs out. I'm going to have to find a replacement for it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful color. So I know that probably seems kind of like overkill for a capsule makeup collection, but for me, I don't know, I like to have some options for the lips, even if I'm trying to go a very like minimal route with my collection. I gotta have some options. So there are more, by the way, in the wild card category coming up, so just so you know. So that is everything for my staple category, products that I can just rely on for my everyday look, but still feel really polished and put together. The third and final category is the wild card category. So these are products that you might wear for a special occasion or just when you're wanting to have a little bit of fun with your makeup and do something different. That could be, you know, pops of color, different textures that you'd want to bring into your look, like maybe glitter, foiled metallic types of products, but just those products that kind of elevate your look. So for this category, I chose 2 additional eyeshadow palettes. The first one is the BH Cosmetics Summer in Saint-Tropez palette. This one has pretty much everything I need for a colorful look. And I also have some great options for a colorful eyeliner if I want that. A lot of these bold colors are pigmented enough that they go on beautifully as an eyeliner as well. So I've got some bright blues, some reds, some pinks, and some softer colors as well. Some like yellows and peaches, which are a must for me, and some beautiful shimmers as well. So this would have to be my go-to like colorful palette. Gotta have that in my wild card category. And then for when I'm wanting a more like textured eyeshadow look, I had to grab my Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette. This is just filled with a bunch of like glittery foiled shadows, and I would absolutely need to have this in my capsule makeup collection. That was a non-negotiable. So those are my 2 kind of palettes when I'm wanting to have a little bit of fun with my look. Gotta have those. Another thing I'd like to have, I've realized this is something that I think I need to have in my collection at all times. It's very specific, but it is a cobalt blue liquid liner. I've got the Wet n Wild Megaliner in Voltage Blue currently, but I'm gonna need to find a replacement for this. This one is almost gone. Like, I was struggling to even get it on my eyes today because it is on the verge of being just completely dried out. But since I don't purchase from Wet n Wild anymore, I'm gonna need something new to try. If anybody knows of a dupe for this, even if it's a little more expensive, let me know. I know that NYX makes one in their Vivid Brights line, but I don't like that formula as much. It can kind of crack. Like once it's on your eye, it can kind of start to look cracked. It's weird. So let me know if you have any other options, but it needs to be like this kind of blue, like this sort of almost cornflower blue, somewhere between cornflower and cobalt. Like that's what I need. So I know that's a very specific need, but I do need to have this. This has become like one of my signature looks, like just a bold blue liner. I have it on today. I really like to wear it with like a kind of peachy corally eye look and a red lip. I just think it's so fun. So that would be another one of my wildcard products. And I may like to have a few other colorful liquid liners as well, but I've also got some options in the BH palette. I would, in addition to my Cloven Hallow blush, like to have some more like bold blushes in my collection. So I also picked out the Aether Amber Cheek Palette because this has some really bright coral blushes in it, and I just think it would be nice to have both a neutral blush and some brighter warm tone blushes. And this also has another highlighter option in it, so I had to include that in my wildcard category just because I don't think I could live with just one blush. I gotta have some options. And of course I can also use some of these lipsticks as blushes too, so remember that. Okay, so finally in my wildcard section I had to have some bold lip options, and you're probably gonna laugh at me, but all of them are red. They're all reds, just different tones of red. That's kind of all I need, is some like nude pinks and some bold reds. I was looking at some of my other bold lipsticks and none of them were really calling to me except for the reds, so I went with a nice kind of more pinkish red. This is like a watermelon red from Physicians Formula. This is their Healthy Lip and Tulip treatment. I love this color. Once I run out of this or it dries out, I'm looking into one from Bite Beauty. I think one of their like lip crayons looks similar to this, so that might be what I get next, but for now I had to keep this one in my hypothetical capsule makeup collection. Then I had to have a warm orangey red. That's what I have on my lips right now. This is the Jordana Sweet Cream in Mango Sorbet. Beautiful, like bright orange red. I've learned that I need to have something like this in my collection at all times just because it's so much fun. It's so bold. I just love a good like orangey statement lip. And then finally a true red. Just a nice kind of true blue-based red. I went with the E.L.F. moisturizing lipstick in Red Carpet. This is a beautiful formula because it goes on pretty sheer, but you can also build it up to get a little bit more of an opaque red, but I just really like this formula. It's very comfortable, and that would be just like my classic red. And then of course I have to have a red lip liner if I'm gonna have all these reds, so I just picked my Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in True Red. I've had this for so long, but I just feel like with red or a bold color like that, it helps to have a lip liner just to keep things in the lines, so that would be included as well. And that is my entire capsule makeup collection. It would be fun to kind of challenge myself to actually just work out of this collection for like a week or something. I don't know if I actually will do that, but it would be fun to try that. But this is just a fun kind of hypothetical idea here. If I were to really pare down my collection to just the basics, I feel like this collection would still give me so much variety. So I feel like I could live with it. I would be very happy with just this, I think. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you again to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. Again, the link to that sale will be in my description box. But if you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and hopefully I will talk to you again very soon in my next video. Bye.